Hi, I just wanted to take a second to sort of reflect on something with you. Around this time last year, someone had confronted me. There's diversity that you invite that's intentional or unintentional, and then there's also adversity that you don't. And I think this falls in that category. So, one of the things that the individual told me was that I think too highly of myself. Yeah. It's just interesting to hear that because that's just not feedback that I have received before. Normally people tell me that I'm way too hard on myself or I beat myself up too much, but I never heard that before. So that's probably why it's had such a profound impact on me. But I did end up sharing that with Miss America, and Miss America was just like, does she know you? Yeah, apparently not really. And I think she knew enough to know that although, just because, here I am, fighting the urges to off myself as someone with suicidality, and someone is telling me that I think too highly of myself. I try my best to take every moment of empowerment as much as I can, but sometimes that can be misinterpreted. Actually, it is in these moments where I reach out to my buddy, Ralph Waldo Emerson, who says, to be great is to be misunderstood. Because honestly, if you're that misunderstood, sister, you're on that path to greatness for sure. And it's interesting because the way that I look at it now is just like, so what? If that's the case, awesome. I'm in my late 30s. I'm gonna be 40 soon, and if I'm finally thinking highly of myself, that's amazing. With all these gray hairs and wrinkles, finally. that's just awesome. I think that's great. And it's interesting because around this time last year, I actually came across this groundbreaking study about tall poppy syndrome. So tall poppy syndrome, as you know, it's where people are resented or hated for their success and their high achievements. It's very similar to jealousy, envy, or whatnot. And there was a groundbreaking study that was done by women of influence with 4,000 respondents around the world, particularly for women in the workplace. And it was about 86 or 87% of women that shared that they faced tall poppy syndrome in the workplace. And oftentimes it was coming directly from women themselves, which is really very heartbreaking and unfortunate, I think. So I know that there are cases where saying that you think too highly of yourself is legitimate, but in the workplace, I personally would not say that to another woman. I often think about this, and would this ever be a statement that you would share with a man? It's always the woman, and it's always a woman on the rise, and the women who makes it on the top, awesome, you cheer for her, and then you do everything to bring her down. There's too many women who think too low of themselves, and I think women should think higher. The unfortunate thing is that here you are with ideas, with talent, with intellectual merit, with the desire to lead and to contribute and take initiative and support and serve, be helpful and make a modest contribution in this world. And you're looked upon as someone who is a little too extra, or you're just perceived as a threat. And I think that's really, really unfortunate, because you really have to wear a sign on your head saying that you come in peace, we come in peace. And I'm not a threat. I just have goals and ambitions and aspirations that I wanna share with the world. You're seen as a threat you're seen as competition rather than someone that you could collaborate with. This is tenfold with women of color, especially in the workplace, and especially in the current DEI landscape right now, unfortunately. And there are many different creative ways that people try to bring you down as well. One of them is that people just don't support you, and they think that their lack of support is going to stop you from succeeding. And there are times when you're talking to people and you realize that you just got to stop talking to them, because they're just going to create more self-doubt within you if you keep talking to people who just don't get you and just don't wish to be supportive. And there's just an animosity there, and you don't have to cut ties with them. You just have to stop talking about your dreams and your goals and your work with them. Honestly, if I do think highly of myself, I'm not sorry about it. And I'm actually really glad that I'm finally thinking highly of myself, and I'm going to continue thinking highly of myself in the second half of my life, and I would encourage every woman to do the same. So that's really what I wanted to share with you, just some rough sort of reflections. Stay on the rise, keep thinking high, and keep believing. Happy Women's History Month. Stay resilient, empowered, and connected. Be radical, be inconvenient. Peace.
I want a big life. I want to experience everything. I want to break every single rule there is. They say ambition is an unattractive trait in a woman. Maybe. But you know what's really unattractive? Waiting around for something to happen. Staring out a window thinking the life you should be living is out there somewhere, but not being willing to open the door and go get it, even if someone tells you you can't.
Even if someone tells you you can't. Being a coward is only cute in The Wizard of Oz. There comes a moment where you just feel like it's time to take a risk, and I'm up for the challenge.